I still hear his voice sometimes. Low, certain, dangerous. You don't belong back here. And the way everyone suddenly went quiet told me this wasn't just about a mistake. My name is Danielle Carter. I'm a black woman from Columbus, Ohio, 32, soft-spoken, observant. I work as a traveling consultant, the kind of job where you carry your life in a laptop bag and learn new cities through hotel hallways and coffee cups. That week, I was staying at a downtown hotel, polished marble floors, quiet music, the kind of place that smelled like money and whispered conversations. I had a presentation the next morning. Big one. Career defining. All I wanted was a quiet evening, a decent meal, and 8 hours of sleep. I didn't know I was about to be reminded how quickly comfort disappears when people decide you don't fit their picture. Before that night, I liked to believe I moved through the world quietly enough to avoid trouble. I dressed carefully, spoke politely, smiled when I didn't feel like it. My mother used to call it armor. She taught me early how to lower my voice, how to soften my presence, how to be non-threatening. I told myself that education protected me, that my job title mattered, that the world saw resumes before skin. But the truth is, I was tired of calculating how I'd be perceived before I even entered a room, tired of wondering if confidence would be read as attitude, tired of shrinking just to feel safe. That night, sitting in that restaurant, I felt that old instinct kick in again. Don't draw attention. Don't react. Don't give them a reason. I didn't know yet that staying quiet wouldn't protect me. It never really does. It started small. It always does. When I checked in, the front desk clerk smiled at the man behind me first, even though I'd been standing there for 5 minutes. When I asked for my room key again because it wouldn't scan, she sighed, like I was a problem. Later that evening, I went down to the hotel restaurant. Neutral outfit, blazer off, hair pulled back, laptop bag beside my chair. I sat there for 12 minutes. Servers walked past me. Tables that arrived after me were greeted, menus placed, waters poured. I caught the eye of a waiter. He nodded and kept walking. My chest tightened, not anger yet, just that familiar question. Am I being invisible, or is this intentional? When I finally ordered, he asked, "Are you staying here, or just visiting someone?" I told him I was a guest. He smiled, tight, unbelieving. That's when I noticed the manager watching me from across the room. His eyes didn't wander like the others. They stayed fixed, measured, evaluating. Every time I shifted in my seat, he shifted too. When I checked my phone, he leaned closer to the host stand. I started replaying my own movements in my head. Was I sitting wrong? Was my bag too close to the chair? A couple at the next table laughed loudly, clinking glasses. No one watched them. I took a sip of water and noticed my hand shaking. That's the part people don't see. The quiet panic. The way your body reacts before your mind can explain why. I wanted to leave, but leaving would mean confirming something I didn't believe was true. So I stayed, back straight, eyes forward, waiting for the moment I hoped wouldn't come. I just finished half my meal when it happened. 2 security guards appeared beside my table. One young, one older, both serious. "Ma'am," the older one said quietly, "we need you to come with us." My fork froze midair. "For what?" I asked. The manager stepped forward, didn't look at my face, just my bag. "We received a complaint," he said, "about someone accessing guest-only areas." I felt heat rush to my ears. "I am a guest," I said, pulling my room key from my purse. He barely glanced at it. He leaned in closer. His voice dropped. "You don't belong back here." The room felt smaller. People stared. Some pretended not to. I wanted to disappear. But something heavier than fear settled in my chest. That old, familiar weight. Humiliation dressed up as policy. Then a woman stood up, white, mid-50s, calm, confident. "I'd like to speak," she said, loud enough for the room. The manager turned, annoyed. "I'm on the board," she continued, pulling out her phone. "And I've been recording this entire interaction." Silence. She looked at me, not with pity, but respect. "This woman checked in 2 hours ago," she said. "I watched her get ignored, questioned, now escorted." The younger security guard shifted uncomfortably. She pressed play. His voice echoed through the restaurant. "You don't belong back here." The manager's face drained of color. "I'd like to review the CCTV footage," she added. "Right now." Minutes later, the truth unfolded on the screen behind the bar. Me waiting, being skipped, being singled out. No threat, no rule broken, just bias. The manager stammered apologies. The guard stepped back, and for the first time that night, I was seen. The restaurant didn't return to normal right away. Conversations resumed, but softer, careful. People avoided my eyes, not out of shame, but discomfort, like they'd just witnessed something they couldn't unsee. The woman from the board walked over to my table. She didn't apologize for the world. She didn't explain herself. She just said, "I'm glad you stayed." That sentence stayed with me, because leaving would have been easier. Staying meant trusting that my truth mattered, even when no one else seemed ready to hear it. When the manager finally walked away, I noticed the younger security guard glance back at me. He nodded, small, respectful. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic, but it was real. They comped my stay, offered apologies, promised reviews and retraining. But that wasn't what stayed with me. What stayed was how close I came to doubting myself, how quickly dignity can be challenged when someone decides you don't belong. That night, back in my room, I stood by the window, city lights glowing like quiet witnesses, and I cried, not from weakness, from release, because justice didn't roar. It arrived calmly, unexpectedly, human, and I realized something. Sometimes the power shift doesn't come from raising your voice. It comes from standing your ground long enough for the truth to catch up.
If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, as your support truly helps us grow. We'd also love to hear from you, so leave a comment below and share your thoughts. We read every single comment. We are on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and every bit of support brings us one step closer. Thank you for being part of Black Diaries and supporting the journey.